horrible buzzing is back. Taylor?
Alright.
Did you get it squared
The
away?
microphone on this headset does not work.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. All I heard was buzzing. I don't know how that came through on the stream. Hi everyone. Taylor's figuring out a headset situation.
It was. I'll just stick with my earbud microphone. And Linjack, you'll have to lower your microphone.
Bro, it's already lowered. You should listen
Did
to
you
the
actually
audio.
lower it, or are you just
Yes, I
saying that you
actually
kept it
lowered.
exactly
Why would I
right?
just say that? That's not a thing I would just say. I like,
So
you
I just wanna
heard
make
me
sure that you're
messing
taking
with
my
it
advice
over
and
the
stuff.
voice
Because I listened to the
chat,
stream and I was like, I was listening to the stream last night, and I was like, this is great and all, but our volumes are really wacky this time, and...
Yeah, and the game music is as low as it goes. I would like to get it lower, but like it won't go lower without turning off. Cause like if you look at the screen, that's not it. Here's his BGM. It's like on the second to lowest one. And then if I turn back, it's just completely off. And then you just can't hear the music, and I like the music.
Huh.
It's a problem for sure.
I cannot find... I put away a...
You should check the audio in the stream to see how, like, the microphone levels are since I lowered mine.
Yeah, I mean, if anything... Alright, yeah. Give me just a moment.
Also, Twitch has changed up its layout, so that's kind of neat, I guess. I mean, it's still pretty easy to use, you just have to, like, click on more things now.
So, what kind of,
Labs. I have a Streamlabs. What kind of what?
What are we doing the intro this time? I'm a little...
Dora, you're the one with the map, you tell me.
Alright, first, I'm gonna check the audio, you do the intro, okay?
Hi, this is an intro. My name is Lou Jack. This is my friend Taylor. He's streaming with us, and we are the Peoplorians, which is kind of our collective name, even though we don't really use it anymore, but it's a good name, it's a name that I like, and yeah, la 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 la. This is me testing out the audio. I don't even know if Taylor's checking it right now. I'ma just keep talking till I hear him say something.
Alright, you can turn your mic up just a little bit.
Just a little bit? Like one notch?
Kick it up a notch.
Okay, kick it up a notch.
Add a little salt and pepper on there.
That is salt and pepper. Dude, if you're a comic book character and you've got like white streaks in your hair on the sides and you're a man, then like chances are you're probably not a great person, or you're Reed Richards, who also is not a great person, but I hear that lately he's better than he usually is. Reed Richards is such a weird anomaly, because like every other version of Reed in all the other universes are like straight up evil, except for the main one. He's like a weird anomaly.
Just Reed Richards uploading. He just uploads to the pod on another planet, and he's like, "Oh, looks like I got uploaded to the Phoenix program on another dimension." And he keeps discovering, that it's like they turn out to be fascists on all the other planets. He's like, "Dang it! Why are you always fascist?
Why is everyone a Nazi? What kind of Crisis on Earth X bullcrap is that?" That's about as far as I watched him as the CW shows.
Okay, then we are on the same page on that episode then.
Well, with the Rick and Morty, yeah, I saw that one. Wait, that was like the first one. I finally saw the newest Rick and Morty, and it was pretty good.
We are the Peoplorians, I suppose. I'm Taylor. This is Blue Jack. We're playing Ace Attorney. It's episode 12. We're talking at each other, over each other, all around each other, and we're gonna
lots of different talking.
and we're gonna play the game.
He's talking,
it's just called Two Brothers. It's just called Two Brothers.
Two Brothers. 8. Two Brothers. 8 Jan Michael Vincent's.
It's just called Two Best Friends Play Ace Attorney. No, wait, copyrighted.
Okay, wait, look. Real talk for a minute. If your thing about Rick and Morty is that you've stopped watching it because of the fan base, like, grow a pair, dude. Like, the fan base is the thing that I don't think about when I'm enjoying a franchise. If I, like, hop on social media and learn that Rick and Morty fans are, like, super toxic, I'm like, oh, apparently there's a lot of assholes that watch this show. Whatever, it's still good. I don't watch it.
Yeah, it's
like, it's just, that is the thing that, like, really annoys me. Like, really, really annoys me. I was on Discord and I was like...
I really hate it when, like, your entire experience of something is messed up by, like, the background of the show itself.
Well, my whole thing is that I think it's kind of dumb to let a fan base ruin something for you. Because, like... Well, I mean, that's like when you're a kid and people make fun of you because you stutter, and you go home and you're like, people make fun of my stutter, and it's like, well, fuck them. Like, they're assholes. Don't just ignore them. I mean, it's kind of like the same principle.
What I'm saying is that sometimes the fan base, a good fan base, is part of what you enjoy about a particular fandom. So it's disappointing when you get into something and then that fandom is not being good.
I haven't seen... There's a video of this
in
guy...
In bird-person language, it means, help, I am in great pain.
There's like this video of some dude freaking out at a fast food restaurant, and he's like on the table, and he's just like... And I haven't seen the actual video, but I've only ever seen like that clip of it in videos where like other people are talking about Rick and Morty.
Oh, that's terrible.
Like, why?
And the underlying... Someone, like, took the little pieces of it apart, and they're like, the underlying, one of the, like, underlying problems, not just the fan base, but of Rick and Morty's, like, overall writing, is that it'll be clever enough to be like, let's beat up fascists, and let's stop doing this terrible stuff, but it's also like... Also, we don't really care enough to do anything specifically positive on purpose. Like, that's the thing, is that as long as, like, Rick's in charge, it's gonna end up being very neutral, which annoys me, because of, like, you've got so much creative, like, flow to work with. I just want to see Morty able to do stuff, like, on his own, you know?
I'm gonna disagree with you there, because, yeah, like... A good show that focuses on people who are like just trying to be good and help people is fine and all, but I'm always like more fascinated by the more neutral parties, which is probably part of why I love Red Hood so much, because he's exactly a neutral party. He's like, okay, I won't kill if I'm working with Batman, but like if freaking Riddler pops out and makes me collect trophies, I'm shooting him in the head.
I'm thinking more along the lines of, if I was writing the show, I'd just have it that, like, when Morty learns an important lesson, it doesn't, it's more about, like, how he should treat a situation more intelligently, without just being like, yes, I should be more of, like, a sociopathic Rick.
Yeah, but Morty's also, like, 14 years old and impressionable, so...
Yeah, that's why I'm worried about him.
Yeah, it's not a good situation. When I was a kid, growing up, I, like, didn't have any friends, so I didn't understand... It's kind of messed up that it's like... Oh, sorry. We're talking at the same time again. Oh, yeah. No, I was just gonna say, like, it sucks being young and impressionable, because, like, growing up, I didn't have any friends, so I didn't really understand social norms, and I'm also, like, super autistic, like, you can't tell now, because I've grown up and learned to manage it, but like as a kid you could very easily see that I had it, like a lot of it, and that just kind of like added to my struggles of learning how to communicate with people, because Well, I didn't have a whole lot of help at home, so I was just kind of like this lost kid being raised by TV, and I would like try to imitate people in like the animes I watched, and the older I got, the more I realized
that's why
people don't act like this in real life. Like in real life, people don't behave this way, and this is probably why people don't want to be around me.
That's why I think like cartoons with like where you like learn something about not just the characters, but like you learn something about yourself are like really good, because like whether people admit it or not, cartoons, whether like you're a kid or adult, do like sort of form like your opinions on things. And if you've got something that gives you like some feel good feels, like when I was a kid, not when it first came out, but I got a like digital collection of like Samurai Jack, like the whole thing, and watched that like in like middle school, and I was like, this is legitness. But like looking back on it, I was like, I learned a lot of lessons, both about like the show don't tell of like creating a narrative, and also the importance of like not being a jerk.
Well,
jerk
see,
to everyone.
Well, see, that's the thing, because like the things that I mainly watched were things like Dragon Ball Z and like One Piece and Naruto. I was an anime kid. Like, I was a hardcore anime kid through and through. But you know, this was also back when we didn't have internet, and I just had to watch whatever was on Toonami. And the things that I took away from shows like Naruto and One Piece is that, yeah, there's a lot of great lessons in there, but also the way just the main characters behave a lot is like super dumb, and people just aren't like that in real life. And that's why I have such a conflict with like Luffy in particular, because Luffy is like a perfect example of like a character that you should not imitate, but exists in a show with a lot of good morals. And like Luffy himself is a person that you can learn a lot from in terms of like just being a good person, but it's really just like his basic personality and like over the topness that you shouldn't imitate in real life.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like you put a magnifying glass to it, and you're like, wait a minute, like a more obvious example is like Ponyhead from Star vs. the Forces of Evil. Like Ponyhead is like 100% wrong. Like she's wrong in almost every situation she shows up in. She always makes like a terrible decision, and often makes a terrible decision out of spite, knowing that there's some side of better decision. Like the only reason she's not like a villain is because all of her decisions are pretty mild, but like a lot of the time they could have gotten someone killed. It's just narrowly avoided.
Right.
So you're like, wow, this is like actually a really like a character that no one should be imitating, and like there should be a much bigger point where someone's like, you know, Ponyhead, you're like the opposite of making good decisions. Like you make me look super responsible by comparison. Maybe that was the point.
Marmite, why does no one like you? Oh yeah.
Yeah, or another example is, and this is kind of controversial, but Mabel Pines from Gravity Falls, because like she seems like such a sweet character, but at the same time, like she's, what's the word? I'm trying to remember. Yeah, she's like she's bizarrely selfish at random points. Like, to the point of, like apocalyptically selfish at points. Where it's like... Where, like, that was part of, like Bill Cipher's plan is, yes, I'll just put her in a sphere where things will go right for her, because in a world where she controls everything, she's not going to use any of that power to actually solve real-world problems. She's going to spend eternity in there, and that'll just be my plan. Like, even, like, Bill Cipher, like, criticizes her for being selfish. It's like, bruh, this psychopath triangle demon is criticizing you. It's not a good sign.
I never watched Gravity Falls.
It's a very good show. I highly recommend.
I always hear that.
It's one of those, what's the word? I think it's really good to see. I really like seeing, like, shows, especially, like, I actually have a pretty high... I want to keep a higher standard for, like, adult cartoons. Because, like, technically, kid cartoons and adult cartoons can be just as like great and have really like emotional like stories and everything. The only difference is just like how in depth you get with more mature themes and what words you can use. In the same way that like, you know, Steven Universe is dealing with like PTSD when he gets back to Earth on the was it like second or third season, and he like does and he like freaks out about telling his closest friend about what happened, because when he told his dad had like a panic attack. Like that's real stuff right there. That hit me hard.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And so like, so when it's like an adult cartoon, like on one hand it's like, yeah, you could be like silly and stuff, but like, you know, you can be just as silly or just as serious. Just like remember that you can cover themes with like more mature themes, but with more maturity. Instead of like covering like more mature themes, but with the same like silly detachment of a cartoon, where it's like, ah, yes, this is the planet where Purge Night is a thing. That makes no sense. No, it doesn't. It doesn't make any sense.
I mean, okay, see, here's my thing with that. Yeah, it's always good to see more mature stuff being handled good, but I feel like that stuff is more important when you're growing up. Because I feel like as an adult, you should be knowledgeable enough in like morality and what's right and wrong objectively, and like just how to be a person, that it's okay to just watch a cartoon like American Dad that's just a bunch of nonsense.
But I think that people are, you know, they're living beings. They're constantly growing and changing. I mean,
yeah, that's true. But you get to a point.
Hold on. Let me establish them. Like in
you
the same
interrupted
way that,
me, dude.
Let me establish something.
Me, man.
In the same way that like kids can learn things from watching cartoons, or like, you know, entire generations have grown up on like South Park and are now like figuring out what was and wasn't actually funny about it. Like people in the same way that like people who from like in the like the 40 to 50 demographic watched like Fox News for like 20 years, and now they're all like really racist.
Okay,
like,
yes, I get what you're saying, but if I'm watching South Park, I don't want to take real world stuff from it. I want to just put something stupid on and laugh.
Yeah, what I'm saying is that like it's...
No, I get what you're saying, dude, but it depends on the show. Like, yes, there should be more adult stuff that is better, but like, it depends on the show. If I'm watching South Park, I don't want to take away any serious stuff from it. I just want to laugh at 30 minutes.
Yeah, I think
it's kind of dumb to like have that expectation for shows like South Park and Family Guy and stuff like that, because it's like, oh, these shows should be like more like the kid shows, and it's like, no, they're not. They're not designed to be that way. They're designed to make jokes and make you laugh for 30 minutes, and that's all it needs to be.
I think it all comes down to, I don't want to walk away from a show believing something that isn't true. Like, you can have like something like SpongeBob. You have like all these gags and stuff, and they're fairly straightforward, but all the character dynamics work in a very basic way that like still makes sense.
Yeah.
Like that's why like the best episodes of SpongeBob are ones that like comically follow something like over the top that would make sense for two like best friends, like SpongeBob and Patrick trying to sell chocolate. And why like some of the worst episodes are when characters are like weirdly mean to each other, like way late in the series.
Which is another good example of a cartoon where like you like the characters, but it's not someone you should imitate. Like if you act like SpongeBob in real life, I will never hang out with you. I love SpongeBob, but I would not want to hang out with him.
Like in later seasons, it wasn't either. It was more like these are characters that like you no longer like because they're not like. They're mean, but they're not like mean in a specific way. They're just like generically mean to make a plot about them being mean happen, and I'm like, why? Like, I like when there's a dynamic, like between like, I keep saying like, I like when there's a dynamic. For instance, SpongeBob representing like a sort of childlike wonder about the world, and Squidward just not having it. And, like, Squidward is wrong most of the time, but he's right in that, like, sometimes he just wants to be left alone.
Yeah. You know, it's funny, because, like, as a kid, I identify more with SpongeBob, but as an adult, I identify more with Squidward. That's just how it is. That's we're like 20 minutes into this. We should probably
welcome to the
something.
Cartoon Philosophy channel.
Yeah, what's up?
You've been listening to Taylor and Lujack.
I'm Lujack,
and
that's Taylor.
I think we should hit that button.
Yeah, let's hit the button.
I really do enjoy these little conversations.
Yeah, we got like 20-minute intros that talk about like cartoon philosophy.
It makes the show work, you know. I think.
Yeah.
One of my.
Wait a minute. Why is it back here? Oh no! Did I forget to save it?
Did you?
I forgot to save it! Oh no. Okay,
oh, no.
So here's what we're gonna do. I'm basically just gonna skip through the dialogue and get to where I was, and while we do that, we can continue to talk about, I don't know, cartoons.
Oh, I remember seeing this. Speaking of that, I remember seeing this this breakdown of an episode back in, I think it was season 3. It's the one where Rick and Morty discover a group of like space superheroes kind of deal, and then Rick is like, "Haha, I put you in a thing where you have to solve puzzles or you die." And yeah, it's a total ripoff of Saw. I know.
Yeah.
Someone pointed out, like, the reason why the episode, like, felt so weird was that the fundamental structure of the show was altered, where Morty basically learned his, like, important, like, Morty lesson halfway through, and then, like, the rest of the episode was, like, unnecessary. Like, instead of having an arc where, like, something new is introduced, Rick does a thing, Morty interacts with it, something goes wrong, and, like, Morty learns an important thing about, like, hey, maybe this isn't a button I should press or whatever. But, like, in this one, he was, like, disillusioned, like, super early, and that was just, like, halfway through the episode, and then the rest was just the heroes derping around and getting each other killed.
Yeah, I remember that. I want to talk about a video game.
And one more thing, I gotta say, some of the most mature moments in the whole show are probably the B plots. Like, I remember, I think it was like in the third episode, like the first season, when they're having a party at the house and they accidentally teleport the house to another dimension, and they're like, what about our parents? Your parents will be fine. They're probably just doing some meaningless B plot right now. It just cuts to them.
Yeah.
But, like, it's kind of, what's funny though is that, like, I feel like their B plots, even though occasionally they'll be part of some bigger sci-fi sort of level plot, a lot of their plots are, even if things are very sci-fi around them, are primarily about their, like, relationship to each other and, like, the family itself, and it's really interesting seeing, like, things work or not.
Yeah. I want to talk about a video game now.
Okay.
Yeah, that's, yeah, B-plots, a good B-plot is always, like, a good thing to have in a show. Or in a comic, or, like, anything, really. I like B-plots. But,
yeah, I feel like it keeps things sort of grounded, and it usually has, like, a similar sort of, like, theme to it. Or sometimes it's, like, a different theme, but it's like, what's the word? It just, like, makes the show flow.
Yeah. Change it. Let the subject change. We're gonna do a subject change.
Alright.
I've been playing a lot of Wolf Among Us, and I decided to, like, replay it because, you know, I like to make different choices. Maybe I want to do a dick pad playthrough where I'm just a horrible person throughout the whole game. Which is totally a thing you can do in a Telltale game.
Just start up a Telltale game and be a huge jerk and fail all the button prompts.
Yeah, and that's my secondary save file. But
Dude, what if... Oh man, now I'm just imagining like Telltale The Walking Dead, where like instead of having it where like your team falls apart or something, they have it that your character narrowly makes it out, but is like just worse off because of it. And so like if you play just like if you play the bad guy, you just end up being like a lone survivor who like still barely survives to the end of the season, but like everyone like hates you.
Yeah. But I learned an interesting bit of lore in Wolf Among Us. I actually learned... So, like, when Wolf Among Us starts out, it's like, oh, the owner of these characters are Vertigo and DC, and I was like, wait a minute, Vertigo and DC? You telling me this is a freaking comic book? And I, like, looked it up, and yeah, it's a comic book called Fables. And Wolf Among Us was basically designed to be sort of like the prequel to that whole comic. And I've actually started reading Fables, and it's pretty decent. It's this thing I enjoy. But one thing that bugged me, like, throughout the game was the glamours, because it was like, okay, Bigby's not, like, allowed to be on the farm because people don't like him. So, like, can he afford to just be, like, glamored all the time? I'm still a little confused about how exactly glamours work in the game, because, like, you'll see characters that, like, discard their glamour, but then, like, immediately go back to it, and it's like, so is this just a spell that lets you transform? And it was one thing that really bugged me about Bigby, because, like, yeah, he's a big wolf, but, like, also, he has, like, an in-between form. He's basically like a Zoan person from One Piece. He has his human form, and then his animal form, and then he's got, like, a weird in-between form. And I was like, okay, well, that doesn't make sense, because he's never been a werewolf. I thought he was just, like, a big wolf that was glamored to look human, so it doesn't make sense for him to, like, have a weird in-between transformation. And I found a bit of lore in the game that actually explained that, and Bigby, as it turns out, isn't actually glamored. He was actually found by Snow White, according to the game. It was like, hey, so, like, our homelands are in deep shit. The game never explains why. The comic does, but basically the homelands get invaded and they're forced to relocate. So is explained by the comic book. But when they were, like, figuring out the whole Fable thing, Bigby, like, found Snow White running away from some danger thing, and she was, like, in chains, and him being a big bad wolf was like, oh, helpless little girl. And she was like, oh no, it's the wolf. And he was like, I'm gonna break your chains. I'm in a good mood today. I'm just gonna break your chains and leave you alone. And so, like, later on when they were getting their whole society thing put together. Yeah.
I mean, so, like, mid-season Khaleesi.
Yeah. So basically she, like, found him later and was like, hey, so we're relocating to the human world now because the homelands is in deep shit. So, like, I got this knife. This is a knife that's described in the game as being stained with lycanthropy. Is that how you say it?
Lycanthropy?
Yeah. So I'm gonna cut you with this, and it'll let you turn human. Is that cool? Is that a thing you want? You want to be in our society? And this is so yeah.
So he's a wolf wearer.
Yeah, Bigby is not glamored. He was just cut with a magic knife that gave him an in-between form.
He's a wolf wearer then.
Yeah, he's a wolf wearer, and that's, like, the coolest thing to me, because, like...
What happens if you hit that pig guy with it? You just become a very piggish man.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh man, I just wanted him, but voiced by Danny DeVito.
Dude, why didn't they just cut Colin with that knife?
Wait,
the
is
pig.
that the thing I'm talking about? Yeah.
He's like the pig that Snow's like, okay, you gotta go up to the farm. What if Bigby was just like, hey, do you still have that knife that you cut me with like 400 years ago? What if we just use that on Colin, and then he could just be a pig human person? In fact, what if we did that with Toad and his kid? We could all just be like weird animal human people. Let's just get those knives and just cut everybody with this knife so that everybody can have a human form.
Well, you see, I sold the knife to a guy, and Then he put it in a collection of like 100 knives that he then sold at like 2 a.m. And that leads into my story. Uh,
This is a story all about how I lost a lycanthropy knife. I'd like to take a minute, just sit right there, tell you how my friend Colin had to get sent up to the farm.
Aw.
He's dead in the comic book.
Aw.
The comic book like kills him off almost not immediately, but like within the first few arcs. And he
I
doesn't even get
imagine
that much panel time. Like you see him on the
this.
couch being the way he is in the game, and then you don't see him again until he's being sent off to the farm, and then the next thing you know, his head is mounted on a spike. And
I
it's
was
like,
gonna
oh my
say,
god, Colin, what the fuck?
I imagine that the three little pigs didn't last very long.
They didn't, but there were three giants that were given an enchantment to turn them into the new three pigs because they were too big, and they were actually sleeping for like hundreds of years, which is why they never had to worry about them. But then they were
Huh.
woken up and they didn't want to go back to sleep, so they were like, well, the three pigs are dead. Well, two of them were evil. Let's just make the giants the new three pigs. And my question was, okay, but what story do the giants come from? Are they from the beanstalk? Like, there's a lot of Fable
Maybe.
characters that I don't know about, and I question like if they're like actual fairy tale creatures or not. Because Snow White has a sister called Rose Red. I'm like,
Yeah, that's a thing
are
that's
you a real
rarely
fairy tale
known.
character?
That
Is
is a real fairy tale character that I know nothing about except that she's part of the family, I guess.
Oh, see, I did not know that. I think that's interesting. Anyway, we should probably
I'm
read
just
this now.
imagining how many. I'm just imagining other various like characters. It's like is Snow White, Rose Red, and Megan the Green.
Megan the Green. Don't talk about the Seven Dwarves. So the comic book implies that the Seven Dwarves just kind of like ran a train on Snow White.
Why'd you have to say that?
It's implied in the comic book, and like Belle says something about it. And Snow White gets all mad, and Blue Roy like takes him aside and like, okay, your appointment's over. And he's like, dude, when you're talking to Snow White, never talk about the Seven Dwarfs. That's just not a thing that you bring up. And that's the story that I would like to see in the comic book. Like,
No,
what happened with the Seven Dwarfs? Why do we not talk about them?
I
I
was
know it's
imagining
implied
something
here,
more along
but
the lines of that the dwarves were like part of like a criminal syndicate, and that like she had to get out of the mob by taking them on at different points in like big boss battles.
huh?
Yeah, that'd be pretty legit.
That's a game I'd play.
It's like
Snow White in
Arkham
Wonderland.
Origins, but with different themed dwarves.
um, oh fuck, I was gonna
Pretty
say
sure that's just
something.
Darksiders.
I have not played it yet. Do not say anything about it. I'm gonna stream them, and it's gonna be super fun. I'll
Well, as
prob
in three, you're supposed to take on the seven deadly sins, so it's there's a lot of fights, but the main like boss battles are the seven sins.
Oh, neat. Anyway,
Yeah,
we should probably read this now.
yeah. Where
Uh,
I'm not sure where we left off.
we left off here, like exactly here.
Yeah, and you were voicing Will, I believe.
Yeah, yeah. The old lady was like, "I want a written request from the person before I let you into the studio." And we were like,
Ah,
"Okay,
okay.
I guess we got to go back to the detention center now." Hello. Oh, also, I think Prince Charming is basically the same Prince Charming from like all the fairy tales, because the comic book
It's
kind
just,
of makes it seem like he's the same Prince Charming from like all the fairy tales. Because
now,
there's a
now I'm
line,
imagining he's just the Gestalt Prince Charming. He's just a combination of all Prince
yeah.
Charmings, and because of that, and the real like his like he was like more mature like backstory is that he's had like a lot of ex-wives.
Yeah, well, it's funny because like the comic book kind of implies that he was both the same Prince Charming that was with both Snow White and Cinderella, and in the comic book he like cheated on Snow White with her sister. And there's actually a line where they're like, "Hey, what's your name?" Someone asks him what his name is, and he's like, I honestly forget what name I'm using these days because I've used so many different names." And I'm like, "Wait a minute, have you just been the same prince in every fairy tale story? Like, are you the same guy that killed Maleficent when she was a giant dragon? That's probably the coolest thing you've done in any fairy tale." Like any fairy tale. Cinderella, guy looks for a pretty lady. Snow White, guy kisses a girl and brings her back to life. Sleeping Beauty, guy kills a fucking dragon. He kills a fucking dragon, and then he does the Snow White wake up kiss thing. Like, why are not more fairy tales like that? Like, so many of those old fairy tales are just, oh, Prince Charming comes in and does the kiss thing. Then Sleeping Beauty comes in like, I fought a giant dragon. I can't they make a special shampoo for that?
That's why you have like some Herculean trials in the middle there, like some fun stuff that the characters get to do.
I need to watch Sleeping Beauty again. I haven't seen that since I was like 7.
Or in a subversion of it, you got half the story where the prince is going to the princess, and the other half is the princess breaking out and then meeting, doing a bunch of trials to meet him in the middle. So they just meet on the road. It's like, I thought you were going to be at the castle. Yeah, but like the castle sucks. So
it was boring, so I left. That's like something Nora would say from Ruby. It was boring, so I left, and that's all there is to it. Anyway, we're like 36 minutes into the stream now. We gotta move this along.
Yeah, this is your line, so read it.
Right. What voice did I give him? Hello. How was the studio? Is that liney enough? Hello.
Hello. How was the studio?
How was the studio? They will think I did it. They all think I did it, don't they? And that's you.
You gotta put a little air into it. Right behind. No, not at all. Isn't that right, Nick? Who's
right.
Nick?
Oh yeah, right. At the very least, you're suspect, dude. That's something I never thought about. Maya like calls him Nick in every interaction she has with him, but no one around them ever questions that. Because like everyone else knows he's Phoenix Wright, but she calls him Nick, and no one's like, wait a minute, why do you call him Nick?
Phoenix the Nick Wright.
I wish someone had cleared that up, because like Larry is the only one that did that, and it was never explained why.
Yeah, I mean, I like that it's sort of just, so far it's been show don't tell, so it's just implied that that's his like real name, and that I guess Phoenix is like somehow his like is it your legal name? No, but it's my legal name.
Haha. You mean we're not universe? Her name is DeMeo? What?
Phoenix DeMeo.
It's like a Steven Universe situation.
Yeah. Dude, I pitched that the first episode. We gotta get new jokes.
Oh, dude, you're right. I forgot about that. Sniff.
Did you just say sniff? No. Wink.
Middle finger up.
I cast Big B's offensive gesture.
Mr. Powers, you what?
Alright. Oh no, I'm just reading.
Oh, alright. Mr. Powers, you aren't hiding anything from me, are you? What? No, I never do that. Earlier, you said that you were sleeping in your dressing room after lunch. Yes, like a baby. But the security lady says she saw you that day. She says she saw you heading towards the scene of the crime. What? That's not possible. I really don't know what to say. I was sleeping. I promise. Mr. Powers, if you want me to help you, you have to tell me the truth. I'm new to this lawyer business, and I need every advantage I can get. I know. I'm sorry, Sniff. But I swear to you, on my mama's grave, I was sleeping. Maybe the security lady only thought she saw me? What did she see? He doesn't seem to be lying.
Oh, wait, I got it.
What?
Okay, so the idea is that someone probably framed Mr. Powers for the murder, right? Well,
right.
How easy would that be if all you have to do to frame him, is show up to the set in his complete body costume with the mask? Like, right, because he'd be going to the set and probably in full costume, which means if you had approximately the right height You could just walk in, they'd assume that it was him.
Yeah, probably.
And no one would catch you. It'd be like a whole, was it, Hitman 2016 kind of deal.
Yeah, it's probably what happened.
Just switch into a costume, and they're like, oh, that makes sense.
I never played Hitman.
Really? Oh,
really?
I would have figured that's like your jam.
It would be, but the thing that keeps me from playing it is the fact that I can't play the first game, and I'm kind of a completionist when it comes to franchises. Not in the sense that I'm going to go and find every Riddler trophy, but more in the sense that, like, if I play one game in a franchise and the games are all connected and have, like, a following plot, then I want to, like, play every game and understand the entirety of the whole plot.
Then you should figure out when the reboot started, because I think it was, like, soft rebooted with Hitman, like, 2016 or something, and then now it's Hitman 2, but...
Well, I've heard that, like, the first Hitman is, like, one that isn't really super connected to the rest of the games, and you could probably just skip. But, yeah, I don't know. I want to play Hitman. I would like to play Hitman.
It's weird, because, like, the early games were pretty, like, straightforward and, like, basic, and then they got, like, more, like, wild and interesting, like, with more, like, colorful characters, and then
there was the thing with nuns.
The whole nun thing was just made no sense at all.
I don't know what the context is. I know that when I saw the video trailer thing, I thought it looked pretty cool. I was like, "Ooh, evil nuns! Where's this gonna go?" And then I heard people be like, "No, the nun thing was dumb," and I was like, "Oh, I had high hopes for it."
Look, tactically speaking, a nun habit is like a great disguise because you could like put like a whole like shotgun under it and no one would see it. The thing is, they're not wearing normal nun uniforms. They're wearing like skimpy nun uniforms, which is super obvious and doesn't conceal anything. So it's like the worst spy outfit, and it's so dumb. It's like a weird, like, it's like they should have had it where, like, after that level, like, Agent 47 wakes up and he's like, wow, that was a dumb dream.
Yes, but, I mean, sexy nun outfits, though. Like, is that really not a thing that you're okay with seeing?
It's not, look, it's not that, it's the principle of the matter. I am playing, so far I've been playing a serious spy game with a serious, like, spy assassin game with, like, international conspiracies and like genetic experiments and mysteries and stuff, and like then suddenly these like random nuns pop in and they have just so unnecessary.
They got that Chuck Green syndrome where they'll just like put on random dumb outfits for like no reason throughout their adventure.
it's
walks into work with like a friggin' SpongeBob head on him, like, hey, what's up? Comes in like wearing a freaking goblin mask. I'm the Wasp Goblin.
Yeah, it's like instead of like choosing their loadout, they just had like a dartboard and just kind of toss things and like, okay, we got special ops nuns, or we have skimpy special ops nuns. Sure, that'll work.
About the security guard at the main gate to the studio. Oh, the security lady? Yeah, what a total bitch she is. She's oh, that's you.
Right behind you. Swear there's more lag tonight. Ah, dang it. Why is it loading now? Why?
What happened?
It's just loading. I just see Will with O and a comma.
Oh. Well, reload.
I'm reloading.
I already skipped past your line, so like it's gone now.
Just read my line.
Right. Yes.
Go on without me.
Go on without me. No man gets left behind. Yes, actually, she said the same thing to me before. Take off that mask. Her words were her words, I believe. She sucks up to all the big wigs at the studio. But let her see you stumble once and she'll never let up on you. Grr, she's got some nerve. Do you think you could write up a letter formally requesting my representation? Of course. Powers request added to the court record. I just hope this will get me past the security lady. I'm sorry, is this how real life works? Like, I'm legitimately curious because this is a lawyer game, but like so much of this is stuff that I'm like, this would never be a thing in court. And then there are things like this, like these requested permission things. Is that like a thing you need to investigate scenes?
It seems more like a semi-formal kind of deal where
An
it's not so
unofficial thing?
informal that it's not so formal that they'll take your word for it, but they do at least want like his request in writing so they know that like it's legit and that you're not like, you know, some tabloid writer or whatever.
You're not just bullshitting. So are lawyers also detective people? Do they like go around scenes like this, casing things like this?
You know, I don't think so per se, but then again, I've never been a defense lawyer for a case, so it'd be interesting if they did have to do a bunch of detective work.
Yeah. Ma'am, have a look at this. It's a letter of request from Mr. Powers.
Look, we can all take solace in that we're defense attorney in what is it? San Francisco or whatever.
San Francisco.
Yeah, and not like Florida. You're like, all right. The defendant is accused of trying to trade his crocodile for a 6-pack of beer. What is? Why?
Florida, what are you doing?
This man is saying that I tried to steal a 6-pack. That is untrue. I rightfully traded it for a fully valuable baby crocodile. That is a trade.
Oh man. Can you read your lines now, or is it still being weird?
Sorry, yeah, I'm just still being weird. I'm thinking about like this man sabotaging my fan boat competition. But I have an alibi. Okay, I'm back for real. Take that.
Throws an alligator at him. Take that.
Just here's a signed image of their dance crew. Hold on. Yes. I recognize the bold, childish scrawl.
Just okay, cut to like Bane, fastball specialing Killer Croc onto like Batman or whatever. Take that.
You know, I can imagine Bane fastball specialing a lot of characters, but not Killer Croc, simply because like the whole point of the fastball special is that you're throwing someone much smaller, so you can get them going faster.
Yeah, but given Bane's immense strength with the Venom, I feel like he could pull it off.
I mean, if he had the Venom, sure, but at that point he could just throw like a boulder instead of one of his buddies. Killer Croc would be like, "Don't throw me!"
Also, I feel like Killer Croc just wouldn't be okay with being thrown like that. He's like, dude, I'm like 9 feet tall and super big. Like if anyone's gonna be doing the throwing around here, it's gonna be me.
Bro, let's just throw someone who's like better at like soft landings, like Harley or Man-Bat. You know, just toss Man-Bat like a spear, and then he glides down.
Dude, I would love to see Harley Quinn doing the fastball special with her big ass mallet. Cause like you don't think about how heavy the mallet is. I just love the idea of like Bane picking her up for the fastball special, and he's like, "God, you're heavy," and she's like, "It's the mallet." It's like, how the fuck do you wield it around the way you do? Like, how strong are you?
My character build has a lot of points in two-handed blunt weapons.
Yeah, you gotta think. Yeah, you gotta think that like behind the clothes, Harley Quinn must be like just shredded, carrying that big mallet around everywhere.
I heavily maintain that Harley Quinn's like truest form is when drawn by like Frank Cho, where she's just like really like powerful, not as huge as like say like She-Hulk, but she's like
not big, but she's like shredded. She's like shredded to ribbons.
Like the gals that go to the gym and the Instagrams.
Yeah. You should read your line.
Oh. No, I read that line. The bold child is strong.
Oh, okay. Powell's request given to the security lady. And there's your line again. When you catch up.
Yeah, I swear the delay's more significant tonight. I'm going to comment on my blinking until my line shows up. Oh my gosh, I'm so
Is
far
it
behind.
seriously not
Why?
shown up yet?
Power suppressed. Okay, to think he would entrust you with his fate, to entrust his fate to youths. Such ridiculousness.
That's
Anyway,
youthsist.
anyway, you may pass, but only left from here. So are the studios.
Man, shut up, Boomer.
No going to the right, that's the employee. I thought going to the right was the parking lot, to be honest.
I don't know. Huh.
Stay out of the right wing. No one's allowed inside, pal. Those were my instructions. The good detective told me himself.
Huh?
Hey, Nick.
Huh? Shut up, Boomer.
What?
The old lady, because she's like so old.
I feel like she's she'd be older than Boomer. She'd be maybe.
Yeah, I use that phrase jokingly because I feel like Boomer is just the dumbest thing.
There were maps in the security guard station. Oh, she just got stealth 100.
Main gate, Studio 1, Studio 2, employee area, gate, dressing room.
Dude, how much do you want to bet that you'll get onto the set and someone thinks that Maya is part of the show?
I don't think that happens, but it would be hilarious.
Right? Because like, there's not exactly a change in fashion between, like, Ancient Monk and an Ancient Monk on a show. So,
Right.
I imagine they'd be like, oh yeah, she's one of the extras, I think. I'm looking for Shrine Girl 3.
Read your
Look
lines.
at that. Alright, where are we right now?
I don't know. But read your line, if it's there.
Ah, okay. So, we'd be right in front of the main gate. No. Yeah. No. What? That doesn't make sense. The area to the right. Those are 50 cents a piece, thank you.
Those are 50 cents a piece.
50 cents a piece, thank you.
Remember? Those are 50 cents a piece. You just give her a copy of, like, 50 Cent Blood, whatever the game was called.
Oh, this is a collector's item. Well, time to go, Nick.
Wright and Co. offices outside Studio 1.
50 cents.
50 Cent. Remember when
I need
50
you to give
Cent...
me 2 quarters. And I need eggs. Egg for bar.
I need to get 4 packs of Huff and Puffs from the pudding and pie vending machine.
Oh yeah, that was a thing.
Yeah. I love the fact that,
forgot
like...
their name's Huff and Puffs.
Yeah. I love the fact that those exist in-game and, like, in the... Do they exist in the comic? I think it's just in the game.
I don't know about the comic, but I love that it stays on theme, where it's called like Huff and Puffs, and the club is called the Puddin' Pie.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny, like, later in the game, you, like, team up with Woodsman to fight the Jersey Devil, and after the whole thing, you, like, pull out a cigarette, and Woodsman is like, hey, can I have a cigarette? And if you give him one, he'll be like, thanks, and then he smokes it, and he's like, shitty brand, but he, like, smokes it anyway. Because, like, nobody in the game likes Huff and Puffs.
I can't, I didn't think of that.
Like, Bigby is known as, like, the only person who smokes them. It's funny, because on one hand, it's like, okay, yes, it's funny to have this whole thing where every time Bigby gives someone a cigarette, they're like, shitty brand. Yes, that's funny, haha, giggles and laughs. But, like, if Bigby's the only Fable that smokes these, then how's anyone making a profit on them enough to, like, continue producing them?
Well, I mean, I figure
There's
they're
gotta
not
be
just
at least a
sold
small
exclusively in
market for it.
Fabletown, right?
What's that?
Well, like, I figure they're not sold exclusively in Fabletown.
I don't know.
That's my idea.
I don't know. They don't really go into that stuff in the game, and I haven't.
Plus, like,
seen them
plus
talk
to be
about that stuff in the
to be
comic
fair,
either.
if they're cheap, then that explains why they would exist. Because if they're addictive and they're cheap, then people will probably still buy them.
Probably. The Woodsman is not in the comic book, and it makes me really sad, or at least I have yet
Aw.
to see him. But I, like, looked up
I
to
miss
see
him
if
and
he
his
shows
big
up.
forehead.
Yeah, I looked up
He is,
online to see if he's like in the comic book, and I can't find anything about him being in the comic book. So I don't think he is, and it makes me sad.
he's got one of those like muscular skulls.
Yeah,
That's how I would just describe him. He's got intense features.
there needs to be a season 2 for Wolf Among Us because I feel like there's more story that they could tell. Like do
Yeah,
more
I
stuff with the
haven't caught up.
woodsman.
That reminds me, I never watched the end of the Walking Dead playthrough with I think 8-Bit Ryan, so I should check that out.
I kind of want to play Walking Dead. I kind of want to play Game of Thrones too. Is
I didn't
that
know there was a Game of Thrones Telltale
there
thingy.
is there is why is there an upside down ball sack with an antenna?
What?
There's an
Are we looking at the
upside
same
down.
like welcome sign, or are
Yeah,
we
it's
looking at the
like
next
no,
one?
it's like a big face with a dumb nose and a weird grin, and he
Yeah.
just looks like an upside down ball sack with an antenna.
No, it looks more like a cartoon head. That wait,
If
is
you
that
like,
is that supposed to be falling down though? That's the question.
I don't know, but to me it looks like an upside down ball sack.
Well, if yours looks like that, you should see a doctor
Well,
or
I mean,
I don't know, put
obviously it
on some
wouldn't.
shorts or something, because that means it's pretty cold, and that's not good for you.
The antenna hat thing is just like a weirdly small penis. He's got like
Let's
that
just
ball
not
cancer from South Park, where they're all like bouncing
let's
around
just
on their testicles.
look. I see the map. I see your destination, but I'm saying let's not go there. Let's just not. Let's take a right here. Let's go somewhere else.
Knew I should have taken that left turn on Albuquerque. It's always fucking Albuquerque.
Dude, imagine like living in Albuquerque and just having this parade of confused cartoons just going through there.
I would love
Like
that.
that's the that's the signature of the American Midwest. You've got like the little like tourist traps and the dinosaur metal dinosaurs and the world's largest chair or whatever, and then you've just got like, oh, here's a diner that's been visited by all sorts of people like Elvis and Guy Fieri and Donald Duck.
October 16th, Studio One entrance. Oh my god, it's Gumshoe. That's your line.
Oh, it's time! It is time! These delays are killing me. Oh man, I wish I had some transportation.
Why is it so laggy tonight? Is it because of the
Yeah,
new
it's
format?
like 4 or 5 seconds tonight. It's a what?
I'm wondering if it's because of the new format, because Twitch changed up its format.
Oh, I saw him sipping tea and staring gloomily out the window. Your line. Hey,
Well, I'm like, I skipped
if he's
over my line
depressed,
because
it's all your fault for doing sloppy detective work.
wait, there's so many
And
lines I think you didn't read there just now, because like I skipped
oh
through a lot of
yeah,
stuff.
help! I feel like you should. I think you should do the
Should I
voices
just,
for this episode.
yeah, should I just take over all the
You should do that.
dialogue for this?
Yes, you should do the voices for this
Alright.
episode. I'll do just the color commentary.
Yeah, maybe it'll be better tomorrow. I don't know, but if he's depressed, it's all your fault for doing a sloppy detective work. Exclamation points! Ellipses, ellipses, ellipses. Detective? I think you hurt his feelings. Oh no, I'm sorry. Well, I think his feelings are easily hurt. I think he's a little bitch. You're right.
Rude.
What voice did
Look,
you give
I
this
have
guy?
called Gumshoe incompetent, silly, and an absolute buffoon. But now you're just being rude.
but little bitch, that's where I draw the line.
His feelings in this situation are valid and meaningful.
Okay. What voice did you give this guy?
Right, he's got like old-timey gangster, like, think, you played Arkham Knight, so do just like the thugs in the background.
Just do the voice that you said, just so I can hear it.
Like, you're right, pal. You're right, pal. It is all my fault.
It is all my fault. You're right, pal. Why does he have...
You went a little southern from that one.
Why does he have, like, a chopstick behind his ear?
I thought it was a pencil or something.
I don't know, man. I don't know what the fuck that's supposed to be. But, hang on. Didn't this guy, like, make fun of my spiky hair at one point? Hello?
I don't know.
I think he did. He was like, it was when he was on the
I
stand.
wasn't sure if you were
like,
reading a line or asking me a question.
Oh, no. Like, there's a point earlier where he was taking the stand, and he was like, yeah, that weird spiky-haired kid, he looks suspicious. And I'm like, dude, look at it in a mirror. Look at it in a mirror. That came out weird. But yeah, I was like, have you seen your fucking head? Like, the whole
Yeah,
right
he's
side of you is just
he's like a
spikes.
fringe case though. He's like just in that middle zone where it's like spiky enough to be anime, but like not spiky enough to be like a main character in Yu-Gi-Oh.
Your hair must be
Whereas-
at least this spiky to be a main character.
Yeah, you must have at least this much spikitude, and then it's just like Phoenix Wright is just like what is it? Just what was his name? Just Sasuke in a wind vortex.
He like goes Super Saiyan and his hair just kind of turns black and red and blonde and is like,
No, it's a it's a Sasuke with his head out the window. Because his hair, it's just his hair, but like extra blown back. Because it's like that duck butt kind of shape.
wait, is this like young Sasuke or like older Sasuke? Like towards
I
the end of the
only know
series?
young Sasuke because I am an old timer who is not known, doesn't know the story about Boruto's dad.
They look very handsome, but I don't like Naruto's shorter hair.
You know
He's
they made
got,
a
like, a
whole
weird
series
buzz
about
cut
Boruto's
now.
dad?
Yeah. Wait, I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Did you know they made a whole series about Boruto's dad?
I watched a little bit of Boruto. I watched until like there were no episodes left, and then I stopped watching. Because, you know, that's the thing I do. I've explained my pattern with anime. I like watch until there's nothing left, and then I come back after like 4 years. But yeah.
And how did that go?
It usually goes pretty well, but I mean, God, I'm gonna be like in my late 80s by the time they finish One Piece. Holy crap, dude. I'm gonna be like 86 in my
Will you finish
computer
One
room.
Piece, or will One Piece finish you?
Yeah, seriously, I'm gonna be like 86 in my computer room and be like, well, let's see what's going on with One Piece. Oh, look, 6 new seasons. Well, let's watch that. And it's still not over.
Wasn't
This is
One
like,
Piece
what, season 132 now?
I'm pretty sure One Piece came out when we were kids, like the cartoon specifically.
It absolutely did.
It feels so wild that it's like I remember seeing like the first episode when it came out, and I was like, "Oh, that's neat," and then like feeling like I was like, "Has it been 500 episodes?"
27 now, and the series has no signs of slowing down.
It won't stop.
And I want there to be spin-off series and like prequels about characters like Gold Roger and Shanks. Those are things
Just
that I
in
would
the
love to see.
same.
But like,
Dude,
but like, if One Piece doesn't like end, then I just want those to be like seasons of their own within the series.
Dude, imagine if someone made like a spiritual successor, or not a sort of like side story to One Piece, but the art style and tone was like way more like Cowboy Bebop. So it was like very like solemn and jazzy and introspective, but like it took place in the same universe, so there was just like giant sea monsters in the background.
You think Spike would get along with Luffy?
No. Spike seems yeah, because like the Spike and Jet seem like very practical adults, and Luffy, he's just a little too goofy. He's very bendy.
He's very... I feel like Luffy is probably on the spectrum.
He's got a lot of energy, and I feel like, plus we all know that, no, it's just Cowboy Bebop, and it's like, I said that there's 3 things that I can't have on my ship: kids, women, and animals, and then it's just
Cuts to the One Piece crew.
We're One Piece crew. Then there's Chopper and animals. Hey!
Sees Jinbei.
And I got all of them.
Sees Jinbei there. Is like, there's some kind of weird fish, man. I don't know what that's about. What are you, like a whale? A shark?
Just a
What's
fish.
your deal?
Just a live fish here on my crew.
Just a live fish here on my crew.
I'm a great pirate. I love my jobs.
Let me show you the ways of underwater kung fu. That's the thing. There's like a specific fighting style that you do underwater, and it's like a fishman stuff. It's like fishman kung fu or something.
I thought we would get all of our dreams and collect the One Piece, but instead we just brought a hipster on his bike all the way from Alabasta.
Yeah, go figure.
Hit him! Kill him!
Hit him! Kill him!
It was so abrupt and sudden. World doctors.
You feel better now? Well, my headache is gone.
Look, we have the greatest technology in all of the Alabasta Kingdom. What? It's an artifact that can see through sand. Okay.
Oh my god. I only speak rubber. Well, I only speak reindeer.
We both speak fish folk, but I speak in blub and you speak out blub.
I speak mermaid and you speak fishman.
Yeah, that would be... I'm pretty sure those are two different things on the show.
Yeah! Pretty sure they are too.
I speak left giant.
If you watch the 4Kids dub, they skip over the giant arc, so you get to like... I don't even remember. I think because like giants, you see giants like throughout the series, but the giant arc is like what introduces them. So 4Kids just kind of skips over that, and then you see a giant, and you're like, okay, I guess giants exist in this show now.
Oh snap!
When? Why? How?
I found a series of videos on the arcs of One Piece, and I'm gonna save that for later.
Yeah, you sent me a Linkara video. I'm gonna watch that at some point. Dude, we are an hour and 7 minutes into this stream.
So
let's keep it rolling. You're right,
Legend
pal.
says we may eventually find a clue.
Hopefully, you're right, pal. It's all my fault. I can blame other people all I want, but I know the truth in my heart. Hey, don't take it so hard. There's always the next case. Yeah, I suppose you're right. I can't imitate the voice you were doing, so I'm just kind of doing my own thing.
I believe in you.
Hi. What exactly are you two doing here? Well, we're on this case too, pal. She said pal. Huh? Hey, you can't just go around saying pal like that. That's my endearing character trait. It's like Todd from Scrubs whenever someone high-fives. He walks in like, guys, you're high-fiving? That's my thing.
You're infringing on my brand. My brand.
I'm sorry, Five? I'd say he's a character, alright. Yeah, character's one word. Let's talk to Gumshoe first. Investigation. So how's your investigation going, detective? Well, hey, I can't tell you that, pal. Nick, maybe you need to be a little more indirect with your questions. Right, so, detective, mind if I take a look at what you got? Show me what you got. What I got? The autopsy report, the latest version. Oh, that's Phoenix. The autopsy report, the latest version, if you please. If in ya pleasin'. Right. Sorry about what happened last time, pal. Autopsy report added to the red court record. Time of death, 10:15 at 2:30 p.m. Cause, pierced through the chest by a spear. Shot through the heart, and you're to blame.
You give Steel Samurai a bad name.
Pierced through the heart. Yeah!
I love our musical episodes.
Yeah, they're great. Dude, like, just take any song and then, like, after one verse, just do, like, the yeah from, like, CSI or whatever it was.
Well, no one told me life would ever be this way.
Yeah! I would love to hear Disturbed do a cover of the Friends theme song. It's like, so no one told you life was gonna be this way.
Well, that's always my joke, is what if you just transition from there?
Right, why was Mr. Powers arrested? Simple, pal. The murder took place right over there in Studio 1. Now, the victim entered Studio 1 at approximately 1 p.m. I'm not sure what this voice is, but we're going with it. At that time...
so it's working.
Yeah, thanks. At that time, there was no one other than the victim in the studio. According to the autopsy report, the time of death was 2:30 p.m. Only one person went to the studio between 1 and 2:30. And that person was none other than Will Powers. No one else, pal. If you think I'm lying, ask the security lady at the main gate. I'd rather not talk to the security lady. Nick, if that's true, anyone would think that Powers did it with that kind of evidence.
Wait a minute.
Thanks for cheering me up.
Wait a minute, I have a question.
What's your question?
If Miles, or yeah, if Will Powers was the only one who went through that gate, then how did the victim get there?
Oh! What was he even doing there?
Yeah, was he just like there super early or something?
Yeah, I don't know, man. About the security lady. Oh, that sweet old lady? What a charm. Absolutely not. Fuck you, you're dumb, and I hate your opinion. Huh? Are we talking about the same person? When I showed her my badge, she gave me a donut and some coffee. Remember what Powers said? She's a sucker for authority. She even gave me a place of valuable evidence. What? Well, that's, I don't know, somehow discriminatory. What kind of evidence? Well, photo. The photo of the Steel Samurai heading toward the scene of the crime.
Oh, snap.
What? Who took that? See the camera up on that gate, pal? The gate?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I've been staring at this background for a while, and I'm like, oh yeah.
Oh, I didn't notice. The gate? You mean the one on the welcome sign? Yeah, whenever someone walks by the camera, whenever someone walks by, the camera automatically snaps a photo of them. Whoa, no! Her mouth looks like an egg when she does that.
I'm a few seconds behind, so I'm excitedly waiting for egg. Oh, you're right! Yeah. Right? I have become egg.
I have become egg. Who's ready for a delicious breakfast? Nick, who's ready for face eggs? You get a face egg. You get a face egg.
I really got egg on my face now.
I literally have egg on my face. My face is egg. Egg is my face. Egg is life. Nick, he has evidence. We're finished. Funny, for someone with hard proof, he doesn't look too happy. What's wrong, pal? You seem down.
Do we have the picture? Cause
no, he hasn't given it to us yet. Don't look so happy when you say that. Oh, we'd like to ask the employees here some questions. Sure thing, pal. Go wherever you like. Of course, you're not going to find any clues I haven't already found. I'm glad someone around here seems to be enjoying themselves. Nick, let's go. We've got a free pass to the place. Now's our chance to check things out. Yeah, fuck you, Gumshoe. We're gonna look at the South Park cancer balls.
What?
The studio mascot. I guess it's a monkey of some kind. Ah. But what kind of monkey?
It seems to be missing. It's like, it's ears, but then yeah, it's one of those monkeys with the noses, the poopy noses.
Hey, Bumbo's here. Look at that funky monkey. What's up, Bumbo? I'm not sure if he's
Bumbo's
still
here.
I don't know when he showed up. Hi, Bumbo. If you're still here, I'm not sure.
I think they just showed up.
You think what?
I hope they stick around for a little bit.
Yeah, me too. But what kind of
you should check out this full episode when we're done. Just rewind to the start of it because we had quite the intro.
Yeah, seriously, we had like a 20-minute intro. He is still here. Oh yeah, because on the screen it says 3 viewers, but like on the laptop it just says 2 viewers, which usually means it's you and like an artificial intelligence thing. Because like there's a sort of auto audience thing. There's always like 1 viewer. And if it's just you and there's only 1 viewer, then it's like an artificial intelligence thing. Because that's a thing that the site does for some reason. I will stick around for a bit, but I need to sleep soon. I need to sleep soon. I must sleep. I must eat grap and sleep after I eat grap. After playing gem.
Okay.
Well, because he says sleep. I must sleep. Good to have you here, Bumbo.
What to slip?
What to slip? Do they have slip?
But first watch the game.
Yes. We're probably not going to do this for too much longer, but I wanted to do this for at least a little longer because we haven't really accomplished a whole lot. But what kind of monkey has... I'm doing all the dialogue because Taylor has, like, crazy mad lag tonight. But what kind of monkey has a nose like that? He's holding a sign in his hand. Right to Studio 1, left to Studio 2. What's up with that thing? It looks kind of busted. Oh, the wind was pretty strong yesterday, and the head broke off. It took that tree down too, with it too. I'm trying to go for like a sort of Brooklyn-esque accent. I don't know how well I'm doing on that, but. Detective Gumshoe, what's down the path to the left? It looks like a tree fell down over the path. Oh yeah, that way's kind of dangerous. You should stay out, pal. Ah, my phone alarm is going off. Ah. There's nothing down there anyway. That's where Studio 2 used to be, they tell me. They don't use them now, though. Interesting. Very interesting. The entrance to Studio 1. This is the studio where they found Jack Hammer's body. Jack Hammer. Let's go in and check it out, Nick. Ellipses. Hey, it's locked. Looks like you need a card key to get in. Sorry, I had to yawn. It makes sense that they would want to keep the non-employees out. The non-employees. Bench. I'm a little bushed. Maybe I'll take a short rest here. Hey, good idea, pal. Detective, aren't you on the case? Well, yeah, but... Hey, us detectives get tired of standing around too, pal. No clues here. No, I didn't mean to click that. What else am I meant? Wait, there's a big old welcome sign. There's a big welcome sign on the above the path. Ugh. Yeah, apparently the studio's fallen on tough times. They've started letting people in on days they aren't filming. They make a bit of extra money by charging for an admission. Huh, you sure know a lot about this place, detective. Now the laptop says 3 viewers. That was weird. You know, you could always quit being a detective and work here. Yeah, and what perfect timing with the studio mascot down for the count. Huh? Just what's that supposed to mean, pal? Means you look like a monkey. And you smell like one, too.
Boy.
Hey, there's a camera here. That's the security camera. It takes photos of people going to the studio. All you have to
Wait,
do
hold
is...
on. I have to walk by again. I blinked.
All you have to do is look... Ah, dude, you made me laugh and then I lost my gumshoe voice.
I lost my gumshoe.
I lost the gumshoe. All you have to do is look at the date and you can see who went there. Who went where. There's a number plate on the camera. Star 1 through 7. Star 1 through 7. Star 1 through the... Star 1 through the 7. I'm trying to like combine it into one number. Star 1 through 7. That must be the camera ID number. Cool. And I'm not finding much of anything to look at. Do I have anything that I can show to Gumshoe? Let's show him the guide map, see what he has to say about it. Can I not present things to Gumshoe? Oh wait, I gotta get out of here first. Then I can present. Or not. Okay, cool I guess. Wait, so are we at the main gate then? Taylor?
Let's see here. I think so.
Main gate?
No. We're definitely at gate because we had to go like left or whatever to what's it called?
Studio 2? Or is it Studio 1? No, it's Studio 2.
Yeah, we're going to Studio 1, which is right ahead of us. So we'd have to be at the gate.
I thought Studio 1 was...
Just regular gate, not main gate. And not the Badger gate, not the Chicken gate, but the... just gate.
Badger gate?
No, you must be talking about his, one of those, like... one of those, dog gates. You mean like, rabbit gate? No, it just says gate.
Just says gate. This country is weird. There's your Avatar reference for the night. The good Avatar, not the blue pussy turds. Detective, any ideas about this? Look, I don't got time to look at every little trinket you got, okay, pal? Okay, well, fuck you then. Yeah, nope, same thing. Alright, well then, where the hell are we supposed to go? Looking for clues with my magnifying glass. And I'm yawning, and I'm not finding anything that's new. And it won't let me go into Studio 1. This is the studio where they found Jack Hammer's body. And it won't let me go in. Let's go talk to Old Bag and maybe she can give me like a card key or something. Main gate. Nick, look! That security lady is in the guard station stuffing her face with donuts! I guess all cops like their donuts. Yeah. And
who doesn't like donuts?
I like it when there's like a show with a cop who doesn't like donuts. It's funny to me. Something about like such an obvious subversion of expectations.
Whoa, you're really you really got an advanced character design right there.
Right? No, it's funny because like on one hand it's like okay, yeah, cops like donuts and coffee. That's the stereotype. But then I think like okay, but who doesn't like donuts and coffee? Like, sure, cops
Now,
do, but
I
so
think
does like
I
everybody else.
I think I know something that actually like sort of added to that culture is that I remember I was with my dad and we were driving home late one night and we saw a cop car at a donut place and he was saying that in the wee hours of the morning places like donut shops that are open or donut and coffee shops that are open 24 hours will give discounts to officers specifically because it's less likely that you'll get robbed at 2 in the morning if you have an officer like in your front in the parking lot.
Huh.
And I was like, huh. And
I,
or at least like that was the logic of it, and so that led to the discounts, which led to officers spending more time at coffee shops with donuts. Because like if I'm gonna get a discount on a donut, I'm probably gonna get a donut.
Probably.
Like in general, but then again, like I've been on a diet recently, so I don't really eat a whole donut. If I eat a whole donut, I get real antsy.
Yeah. Why is there a notification on my laptop that says single girls in chat roulette?
You cannot fast travel while hot singles are in your area.
Fuck out of here, spam.
It's one of
Wha-
my favorite like just random posts on Twitter. It's just you cannot fast travel while hot singles in
Wait,
your
what game is that from?
It's a reference to the Elder Scrolls where you can't fast travel if
Oh,
there's enemies near you.
right. Bumba says, I also figure for old beat cops, they would probably grab a quick lunch at local cafes. Yeah, you right. Maybe the hot girls were inside you all along. Oh, wait, they're inside me?
No,
Like in
maybe
my
the hot
body?
single. What if the hot single was you all along?
What if I'm the hot single? You know Ryan George? He's the guy that does
Uh,
like the pitch meetings and stuff.
Sort of. I
Uh,
remember seeing once.
there's like this. I think he's also part of the Screen Rant channel, but that's like a whole nother thing. I don't I don't like Screen Rant, but Ryan George is funny, and I like his solo videos, his personal channel. And there's one where he's like talking about his wife, and he was like, "Yeah, internet is how I met my wife. She was one of the hot singles in my area waiting to meet me, and now she hates me. She yells at me a lot." It's like, wait, what? I think it was in Ralph Breaks the Internet because they were talking about like the internet. It's like, oh yeah, I love the internet. The internet is where I met my wife. She was one of the hot singles in my area waiting to meet me.
Oh, that guy. Yeah, what was his name? It was like his name was like Spammo or whatever.
Yeah. um,
I love the. Did you know this in the Wreck-It Ralph movie? There's one of those ads and it's like sassy moms in your area, and it's just a screenshot of what's his name's aunt from Big Hero 6. And I was like, well, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. She is
uh,
great.
Big Big Hero 6 is a good movie. Um, I I watched a dude talk about like the comic book that was out before the movie, and he was like, "Yeah, the comic book was super weird." And it was funny because I like did some research on the Big Hero 6 characters, and I learned that like Fredzilla turns into like an actual kaiju, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool. Way cooler than the version that's in the movie." And like the more I learned about these characters, the more I was like, these characters seem pretty cool, and I kind of wish they were more like this in the movie. But then I like learned about the comic itself and the storyline, and it was like, yeah, no, the comic book was just kind of weird, and like the movie is definitely an improvement.
I
And now
really,
Big
really
Hero
like
6 may
the.
not even be part of the Marvel Universe anymore. No one really knows where it stands anymore.
I really like the setting. I love the concept of San Francisco, just like this very like it's like West Coast meets Japanese.
Dude,
I just love that aesthetic.
if you've played Kingdom Hearts 3, Kingdom Hearts 3 has the Big Hero 6 level, and that whole level is pretty much what I would want a sequel to be if they ever made one, because the level is like, oh, well, this is what's the big dude's name? The big balloon dude. The big balloon guy. What's his name?
What?
The big balloon guy, one of the main characters in Big Hero 6.
Oh,
Official...
Baymax?
Yeah, Baymax. He's like, yeah, this is Baymax too. You see, I had a movie thing that happened, and now this is the second guy because like the other one got like lost in the portal thing, and I recovered his memory and put it in a new body, and then like the original comes out of the portal and is like taken over by the bad guys in the game and is like all heartless-fied now. But then
Is he
like
like more gray?
yeah, I don't remember, but he's you have to like fight him because he's been reprogrammed. But then you eventually beat him, and then the Big Hero 6 guy like fixes him. So now within Kingdom Hearts 3, you just have like two Baymaxes, the original and the new one. So
The
by the end
original
of the
and
level, you just
XC50.
have like two Baymaxes, and they're awesome.
That's neat.
Yeah. I was like, this is kind of what I would want to happen in a sequel. Have like the first Baymax turn evil and then save him, and then just have like two Baymaxes, and then make a third movie where both Baymaxes are there, and you can just have two Baymaxes forever and ever now.
Nice.
It's pretty sweet.
Where were we here?
Yeah, and they're soft enough she doesn't need teeth to chew them. Hi, you! Well, are you satisfied Powers is guilty yet? I will never be satisfied as a defense attorney until he is proven not guilty. Irk! She had to make my life harder by giving that photo to Detective Gumshoe. Like kicks a rock. Oh, I hate this place. Photographic proof. Why didn't you tell me, why didn't you tell us about the security photo, ma'am? Oh, damn. I just thought it would be more thrilling to talk with the detective himself. These things are important, you know? Don't wave your hand at me all condescendingly, you stupid, toothless fucker.
Now you're just being rude. Also, she totally has teeth. What are you talking about?
I don't fucking know. Phoenix made a comment about her not needing teeth for donuts.
I think we should wrap this up. We're getting a little loopy.
Yeah, let's finish this bit of dialogue first, and then we'll call it a night. Just to the left from here is the gate with the camera that took that photo. It's my job to check the photos every day, you see? Okay, that's great. That's great. I'm gonna let you finish, but first I'm gonna save, and I'll let you finish tomorrow. Cool? Cool. So, yeah. That'll be it for tonight. Thanks, Bumbo, for sticking around. And, thank you for watching. And this is our outro now. Waiting for Taylor to chime in with the outro.
So thank you so much for joining us tonight. I've been Taylor.
I've been Lujack.
Take care.
Stay awesome.
Have a beautiful day.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.